Hello everyone, this is Michelle. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to share with you a recent project I finished using a beautiful Gypsy book kit put together by Lippincott of Vintage Rose Creations. In the kit she had featured some beautiful fabrics, printed fabrics, some sari silk with the sequins, some fringe, some sari silk ribbon, and just a few other things, some buttons and things of that sort. This is the very first time I have ever done a fabric book, so this was a real treat for me getting to use my sewing machine, because I'm not generally a sewer, but it was a lot of fun getting to do this kit, and I actually can't wait to do more. So let's get started. As you can see with the cover, I used the printed fabric in the background, and I covered it with some of the sequined sari silk, because all gypsies, they glitter in some capacity. I also used some of the fiber trims that Kim had featured in the book kit. On the binding side of it, I used some beautiful, gorgeous, just gorgeous fuchsia sequined applique. And on the back side, you get a better view of what the sari silk fabric actually looks like. So I kind of did it in a patchwork format with a couple of other different patterns that she featured, pattern fabric that she'd featured in the kit. The buttons, these large buttons, however, are from my stash, and since I had all this gold going on the cover and on the back side, I wanted to feature the gold as well in the buttons. The little shabby roses that I used come from my own personal stash, as well as the photograph. So essentially what I did, instead of doing a wrap closure, I just kind of tied the sari in a nice bow that slides over the button. So we got that there tied. So now, what I did with instead of going with the white fringe for the cover, I did use a gold paint spray by Aladdin. And as I bring this closer, I hope you can kind of see the shimmer of the gold. Really isn't picking up that well with the lighting from the window, but it is just a gorgeous gold that coordinates very well with everything. And I also added some rhinestone cup chain that she had sent me as a little extra. So now with the inside, what I did is I used some of the beautiful pom-poms that she had made with the kit. Another photo from my own personal stash, using some of the elastic vintage lace, kind of frame it in, and some doilies that she had sent me. Here's two other portions of the beautiful fabric, as you can see, that coordinates together very nicely. Another pom that she had created. Some of the leftover fringe that I trimmed from the cover. Another little vintage doily that she had sent me, and some of the fiber that was in the kit. And I featured a little card that describes what a boho girl is, just as a little fun thing for the front of the book. And on the next page, we kind of have a musician's kind of thing. Using some vintage sheet music from my stash, I sewed the image on there and then attached the image to the page. And I want to mention, by the way, that the pages were originally a white linen that it was featured with the book kit, and I actually coffee dyed them. I wanted something to have like a vintage background, and all the pages that I have stitched together all feature a zigzag stitch, and I went with black because I wanted a contrasting color to go along with the book, just to give it a more, you know, kind of thrown together look, essentially. What I did with some of the other silk that she had sent, printed silk she had sent me, is I made two little slide-in pocket things, leaving it frayed on the edges, that you could slide little things into. Like here I have a tag with a violin that kind of just coordinates with the sheet music. And let's see, we also have these beautiful little booklets I put together using a token style button and a little piece of lace. And what these actually are vintage fortune teller cards, little pages, and I made like little books out of them that can just tuck away throughout the book. And completed this page with a altered paper clip. Now this section I used some trim that came from Vintage Rose Creations, along with some lace and braided trim that came from my own personal stash. I used some peach colored elastic trim from Vintage Rose Creations, some small doilies, and for the background on the other page I sewed in some a coffee stained book page, and just a few little extra goodies in here, including a number card that came along with the kit, which we know that gypsies, you know, believe in numerology and things of this nature. And just another little extra tag, and on the flip side of the tag it does have a you know, date and time kind of thing. You can record something and add extra to your book. And here we have this beautiful sequined sari silk that Kim featured in the kit. And on this one I actually stitched the paper to the silk, which gives a definition of the word bohemian. And just to enhance the blue that's in the applique on each of the pieces of sequin, I did use little blue rhinestones from my own stash, some blue dyed vine trim, and a beautiful sequined flat back piece. Here we have a more romantic gypsy style going with some pinks and such. And basically, you know, the same format here. I used one of the pom-poms and one of the vintage buttons that Kim had featured in the kit, along with the vintage doily, some elastic lace trim in pink, and more of the vintage buttons over here with some more fiber that she had sent me. The pocket on this page is actually from a vintage napkin that I had received from Kim a while back. And let me pull it away a little bit and see if I can, so you can see the beautiful, there we go, that's better. See the beautiful embroidery work on it. And it just, to me, it just matches the picture perfectly. The soft romantic gypsy. Here's a note card that I've tucked in for my stash. And a little ticket and another little thing that says Dreamer on it, with an altered paper clip that I created. And here we have more with the vintage doilies. Some beautiful lavender lace that Kim featured in the kit. Another little fortune telling book that I made. Another numerology card. And I put the pocket in from a printout kit that I had, a collage kit. This pink lace here did come from my own stash, as well as some of the bottom lace here that you see. And then last page, we have some elastic lace that I used from my personal stash. And just a few little ephemera cards, a postcard. I used some of the trim work from the kit to line it out, as well as across the bottom here. We have an extra little pocket that I made on here that can, you know, slide any kind of little goodies in here. And I think I did slide something in here. Get my fingers to work. There we go. Oh, it's another number card. So that's basically the inside of the book and the outside. And to finish up the book, I did add some fiber strands here in the center of the book, and to that I added this beautiful large boho bead that Kim had made with a beautiful rose dangle here at the bottom, along with some fabric scrap from the cover, more fiber trim, and I created a boho bead myself with some of the extra fabric that I had, adding a feather charm to it and some beautiful silver beads that she had sent along with my package. And I used a key charm from my stash. So there you have it. We have this beautiful vintage style gypsy fabric book made possible by the beautiful kit that Kim Lippincott had put together at Vintage Rose Creations. And at the end of my video, down at the bottom, you will find a link to her store, and I highly invite you to go check out her goodies. She's got an amazing eye for beautiful fabric, and I'm just in awe of some of the goodies that she features in her store. And if you've not yet subscribed, I would like very much for you to subscribe and hit the bell so that when I post another project or have something I want to share, you will be notified. And also feature Kim's YouTube channel, link in the bottom of this post. I want to thank you all for coming today. Have a great day. Bye.